How would you manage your day-to-day expenses if another recession happened? Do you have money in the bank in case you lose your job, for instance? A new survey by Pure Point Financial reveals that nearly half of us have less than $1,000 in our savings accounts. Here with more on why we're saving less and how to get back on track is nationally recognized money expert Stefanie O'Connell. Welcome, Stefanie.
Good morning.
So tell me, this new State of Savings in America report is revealing some serious disconnects between what we say we want and what we're actually doing. Can you give us some more examples?
Absolutely. So according to this new report from Pure Point Financial, Americans say they value their financial savings almost as much as they value having good health. But the same survey finds that 2 in 5 of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account, and that 47% have their savings account at the same bank as their checking account, which tells us that nearly half of Americans aren't really being proactive about their savings. In fact, 75% aren't actively shopping around for the best interest rate on their savings accounts. So we say we value our financial health and our savings, but when it comes to really following through on those values, even relatively simple things like making sure we're getting the most from our money at the bank, a lot of us aren't prioritizing those actions.
So what tips would you give to the average family trying to save for big ticket expenses like tuition and mortgage or starting a new business or even retirement?
So when you're first starting to save, the biggest tip is to remember that establishing the habit of saving is more important than the actual amount that you save. So even if you can only afford to set aside a little bit of money, it's still valuable because you're getting into the habit of setting money aside. And then over time, you can scale your savings contributions as you're more able, when you get a raise, if you get a windfall, if you get a cash gift, etc.
So it is practicing for the money that you hope is going to come, starting that now with the money that you actually have then.
Exactly.
So there are different types of savers, correct? For instance, I'm hearing that there's a crash diet saver. What's that?
Yeah, so actually 4 in 10 Americans identify as crash diet savers. These are folks who are able to save, but typically only do so when there's a short-term goal. So they might save for an upcoming vacation or an upcoming wedding or something like that. But when it comes to establishing a consistent savings practice, they really struggle to set aside that money. And the reason that is a little troublesome is because when it comes to these bigger financial goals like paying for college tuition or saving for retirement, it's really hard to build up that amount of savings in a short period of time. The way to get there is with those smaller savings contributions that you make each and every week or each and every paycheck over time.
So what percentage of our income should we be saving regularly then?
So once you get into that habit of saving initially, you want to target setting aside at least 10% of every paycheck. And I say at least because the reality is we all have different savings goals. If you plan to pay for your kids' entire college tuition and retire early and take a vacation every year, well, then you're going to need to save more than that. So make sure that you customize your savings plan based on your savings goals.
All right. Thank you so much. Where can we go for more information? That website real quick.
So you can learn more about saving money from me at StefanieO'Connell.com and learn more about maximizing the money you save at PurePoint.com.
Perfect. Stefanie, thanks so much. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.